Here we are in the beginning of the year. The new rules are in play, but some of the old rules brought even more attention, especially at the Phoenix Open with Rickie Fowler, for instance, having to drop a ball and then watching it roll back into the hazard after he'd already taken relief. And because you need to take a stroke penalty to get the ball out of the hazard, and the ball was in play once he had placed it, he had no choice but to take another penalty. Once Rickie placed the ball, it was in play, just like it had been sitting there after a shot. Once that ball was placed, it was in play. In my opinion, Rickie should have replayed that chip shot rather than have to pitch a ball over a bunker to a tight hole placement. So in Rickie's case, it was just bad judgment and bad luck. In fact, it's remarkable he was able to overcome that and win the tournament. Another interesting occurrence Rickie had at the Waste Management Open was when his ball was on the cart path. And his nearest relief was on the slope in the desert with a bush in the backswing. And if he had dropped the ball there, he arguably would have had no shot at all. So playing off the cart path was clearly his best option at that point in time. Free relief does not mean good relief. Speaking of relief, Tony Romo at Pebble Beach played the ball off of the grandstand. And the ball was up on the top of the pad. And he would get free relief, but it would have been in long, wet grass. And he looked down and obviously said, this is a clean lie, and it's like playing off a driving mat at the range, and he hit a magnificent shot into a few feet. So it showed you that was the right decision. Free relief in this case also was not good relief. It was much better to play the ball off the grandstand. The European Tour had a situation with Sergio Garcia that was under the new rules. In the past, there was no penalty in a tournament for conduct. You might get fined by the tour, but there was no penalty that could be applied under the rules. And when he buried his putter in the green several times, it could have been a 1 or 2 stroke penalty at the discretion of the committee, but because he did it so many times in succession, disqualification was applied. In this case, his conduct is not conducive to the good image of the tour, and so they removed him from the event. Let's talk about another situation on the rules that happened at Pebble Beach with the rain delay. Yeah, as darkness was coming on at Pebble Beach, it was fun for me to watch it because I had been involved in probably 100 or 150 of those in my tour days. And to see it handled exactly the same way as it was 35, 40 years ago is really fascinating to me because still the announcers, the public don't seem to understand the rule, and yet it's been the same forever. Once the siren sounds, the only way you can continue is if you have a ball in play from the tee. You have to have a ball in play before the siren sounds in order to complete that hole.